February will be one of the most emotional and confusing months in 2025. We're getting ready for the astrological new year, which starts in March. And the new moon in Aquarius last week was like a jumper cable. Now we're slowly starting to wake up, but Mars is still retrograde and has been since December, draining your energy and causing tension. And Neptune in Pisces feels like the dreamer's disease. 1 minute you'll have a vision for how you want your life to look, and then you'll start to second guess if it's realistic. This all ties into an eclipse in September that will bring a major ending, release, or completion. Jupiter, at least, is moving forward on February 4th. This will help you feel more optimistic about some of the changes. There's also a good amount of North Node activity, which points towards your life purpose. So let's try to make sense of it. Welcome to Astro ROI. I'm Kathryn Cartini, here to talk about how astrology can be used for personal and professional development. And this is my February 2025 forecast for all 12 zodiac signs. Before I run through each sign individually, I'll give you a list of the biggest events this month. If you want to skip ahead, there are timestamps. I'll also post a transcript of this video on my website, astrocoachkate.com. I do veer more towards the science. Data doesn't lie. I use Luna astrology software to help with the math. Luna is a cloud-based platform. Not only am I ruled by Venus and I like the look, I've also found this software to be very efficient and accurate. Because of my affiliation with Luna, you can get 10% off and test it. There's a link in the caption. You can also get a bird's eye view of what's happening for you throughout the year. I've posted 2025 horoscopes for each sign on this channel. They cover events I believe you should pay attention to. I've also done enough analysis to know my content is unique to other astrologers. At this point, I don't know if I'm pushing too hard against the grain. That's Pluto in Aquarius. So your feedback means a lot to me. If you do find value in these videos, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notification bell. If all the stars continue to align, I will keep going. To best work with the astrology, I take complex issues and share them in bite-sized pieces. Sometimes I'll post resources or ask questions so you can think about how the energy impacts your life. And since the universe never sleeps and birth charts are more distinct than DNA, if you would like to train with me, I'll analyze your personal data and help you create a strategy. I have game plan options on astrocoachkate.com, and you can book a free discovery call anytime. Now here's a list of the major events in February if you want to take a screenshot. Now let's run through each of the 12 rising signs. I practice Western astrology, and when I do forecasts for the collective, I use the whole sign method, which divides the zodiac wheel into 12 equal parts. If you don't know your rising sign, Google it. You need your birth date, birth location, and time of birth. After listening to your rising sign, you can watch your sun and moon signs to gain even more value. Let's dive in. Aries, you're ruled by Mars, the warrior. This makes you fierce, assertive, and brave. Let's see what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus, the planet of what and who we love, joins with Neptune, the illusionist, in the water sign of Pisces. The energy is dreamy and hazy. Your imagination, Neptune, can run wild when it comes to love or money, Venus, which can be inspirational or delusional. Venus rules both your money and values and your committed partnerships and self-awareness. Neptune for you is about your private life. So with the Venus-Neptune conjunction happening in your 12th house of the subconscious, this could mean financial fantasies or idealized values. There could be a secret involved, or something may not be all it seems. This area of your chart is also associated with hidden enemies and self-sabotage. Venus is preparing to station retrograde on March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and then in Aries. So whatever you are dreaming of right now will likely get fine-tuned at that time. The North Node of Fate is also involved. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But as the month opens, you may think you found the one, and when Venus retrograde hits, you realize that your values or lifestyles don't match. Maybe the relationship with money is different from your partner. One person likes to spend, the other person likes to save. Maybe the delusion is falling for their looks or what they promise you. Watch for deception, wishful thinking, scams, or trusting the wrong people with your money and your heart. On February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and then on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. This is good. Mercury is the planet of the mind, and it's activating your groups and gains, sitting right next to the sun, how we shine. And Aquarius is inventive. You could have a bright idea involving your social life or how to make more money. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto. Pluto is the planet of empowerment or power plays. It's in Aquarius for the next 20 years to transform your friendships and earning power. Meanwhile, Jupiter, the planet of optimism, has been retrograde since October. This could have spiked negative self-talk, but in February, Jupiter will move forward, and the trine to Mercury could mean that you are better able to share an idea with your neighbors or relatives. It might have to do with a media project or trip. The point is, you won't be in your head so much, and your ideas should be well received. Mercury also rules your coworkers and health habits, and Jupiter for you is about what you believe in based on your experiences, as well as how you like to explore the world, like through entrepreneurship, travel, or education. Your idea could be to go on a spiritual retreat that allows you to relax your mind, make new friends, gain insight through the experience, which you then vlog about. Jupiter will stay in Gemini until June, since this is happening in the part of your chart that involves your social life or the money you make. Whatever you decide to do could turn into a second revenue stream or more friends by the summer. Now back to your fate. On February 7th, Neptune conjoins the North Node in Pisces. Remember, Neptune represents dreams or escapism. When in your 12th house, these are things you keep private, but Pisces wants you to believe. Believe in what? The North Node points towards our purpose. It's what we need to learn in this life. Over the next 18 months, the North Node is asking you to have faith. The South Node is what we need to let go of to fulfill our destiny. It's in Virgo to help you focus on your work and health. So since the 12th house includes vices, secrets, self-sabotage, and karma, the astrology suggests that you need to change your work environment or lifestyle to address a private matter. Now, the North Node is ruled by Jupiter, suggesting that entrepreneurship, education, or travel will benefit your health or expand your faith. This is why I suggested a spiritual retreat with a group of people. This is also a good time to work with a therapist, astrologer, or energy healer if you need to get past a mental block or release toxins. Otherwise, you could isolate yourself or get too inside your head, which will only upset your work and health. With the South Node in Virgo, you'll be able to stay disciplined and hammer out the details. Speaking of the details, on February 9th, there's a Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun connects with a planet at the same degree, amplifying its energy. Mercury is the planet of logic, and the sun is how we shine. For you, the energy activates your 11th house of groups and gains, so recognize the pattern. Today, you'll have extra confidence to socialize or network, both of which could make you more money or fulfill a goal. Since this is happening in Aquarius, you could get behind a social cause, maybe by joining a nonprofit or political movement. Or since this is Sunday, maybe you gather with your neighbors to watch football. You could also post a special announcement on social media. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are endings, completions, or turning points. The energy lands in your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children. Look at your calendar to see what was happening at the beginning of August. That's when this energy started to form. The moon also rules over your home life. Are you announcing a pregnancy? Did you meet someone in August and now you're moving in together? Did you start a home renovation project? There is a square to Uranus, the planet of innovation or disruption, which suggests a sudden change to your money or value. So it's possible the fun you're having is coming at a cost. Or maybe if you've been feeling disrespected, you're parting ways with someone. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so let's move ahead to February 24th when Mars, your ruler, finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of action and passion, has been moving backward. First in Leo, bringing tension to your romantic life, creative projects, or connections with kids. Then in Cancer, causing friction at home or disturbing your emotional security. Maybe your kids were throwing temper tantrums or keeping the peace at home turned passive-aggressive. Mars is also about heat, burns, and cutting. My heater broke. My friend got into an accident and had eye surgery. A family member got sick with a high fever and went to the urgent care. But on February 24th, the tension will slowly start to dissipate, and you can now take action. Maybe the slowdowns helped you set new ground rules at home or with your romantic partner. With new boundaries in place, by the 3rd week of April, your passion will return. Now you can focus on dating, hobbies, or spending time with your kids. However, However, from February 24th to mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. This is tied to your identity or appearance. You may feel insecure or not respected, but Mars will give you the courage to work through it, and this will help you get your home and personal life back on track. Now it's time for a fresh start. On February 27th, there's a new moon in Pisces. New moons are new beginnings. Yours happens behind the scenes. This could be when you quit smoking or start seeing a therapist. Again, the moon rules your home life. So maybe you're addressing a childhood wound or sifting through past karma. With a square to Jupiter, whatever is happening may be stressful to discuss, but with the moon being warmed by the sun, you'll feel brighter days ahead, especially with Venus now in Aries. This means self-love. So treat yourself to something nice. With Uranus in Taurus, go have a nice dinner, get your hair done, or buy yourself a wearable. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, so whatever is happening in your private life is part of your destiny. And this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. So keep tapping into your subconscious and believe that you can release this baggage by the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Taurus, my fellow brothers and sisters, Venus, the planet of love and values, is your ruler. This makes you creative, loyal, and passionate. Let's see what February has in store for you. Pay close attention on February 1st when Venus conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. You could fall in love with the idea of something. Your dreams, Neptune, about what or who you love, Venus, may be extra vivid. You could attract attention or feel like someone has put you in a trance. Venus rules your appearance and perceptions and your wellness routines. Neptune is about your personal development. So when Venus and Neptune blend their energy in your 11th house, your community or role in society may have you confused. You might see people through rose-colored glasses or falsely assume that you're helping others. Your goals and earning potential could also feel hazy. Venus is getting ready to station retrograde on March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. Be prepared that your goals or friendships will need to be revised at that time. The North Node of Fate is also involved, and we'll circle back to that in a minute. For now, focus on not getting caught up in all that glitters. Someone could present you with an offer that's literally too good to be true, like a get-rich-quick scam, or you could idolize a mentor or teacher. Your challenge is to ask questions and read the fine print instead of getting lost in the fairy tale. Maybe it's time for you to become the teacher. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. This is chef's kiss astrology. Mercury is the planet of movement. It's lighting a fire under your career and public image and sitting right next to the sun. How we shine. And Aquarius is about liberation. You could see a clear path to seizing an opportunity that helps others. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto. The planet of empowerment or power plays is in Aquarius for the next 20 years to transform how you make a mark on the world. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, has been retrograde since October, throwing a wrench at your personal finances and self-esteem. Now you'll have more luck in these areas. You could strategize a second revenue stream, join the board of a nonprofit, or start learning more about cryptocurrency. Mercury is also associated with your romantic life, creative projects, and children. Maybe you use your influence to promote products online, start a charter school, or become a matchmaker. Think outside the box. Jupiter expands to your communities and joint resources. So maybe you add a subscription model to your business or invest in a tech startup. Now back to your fate. On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. We discussed how Neptune is about dreams. When in your 11th house of community and gains, you could receive a vision about how to monetize a group project or expand your marketplace. The North Node points towards our destiny. It's what we need to embrace. Over the next 18 months, it will activate your networks and income. Pisces needs you to believe in the potential. The South Node is what we need to release to fulfill our purpose. It's in Virgo, bringing order to your romantic life, creative projects, and connections with kids. And with Venus, your ruler now in Aries, you'll be passionate about your faith. It's possible you join or start a community of like minds to discuss esoteric topics like astrology or metaphysics, or you take a risk with your heart, allowing your friends to set you up, or you could change your beliefs about having children. Then on February 9th, there's a Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun aligns with a planet at the same degree, electrifying its energy. Mercury is quick-witted. The sun is about how we express ourselves, and this energy lands back in your 10th house of professional achievements and prestige. Something could happen that gives you the confidence to publish your work, speak in front of a crowd, or step into a leadership role. Whatever it is, you'll be recognized for your bravery. This takes us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are releases, culminations, or endings. And this lunation brings your fourth house of home and family into the spotlight. Scroll through your photos to see what was happening at the top of August. That's when you were setting new intentions in this area. It could have to do with property, your parents, or your emotional security. The moon controls how you communicate. This includes socializing and social media. You could launch a website for a family business or send out save the dates for a housewarming party. That said, this full moon is squaring Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the planet of innovation or disruption, and it does bring sudden change. It's possible you say goodbye to a family member or neighbor, or you make an emotionally charged decision to renovate or relocate. With the moon opposite the sun and Mercury, the change could be brought on by a new job or switching your social title, like getting married or divorced. It depends on your personal chart placements. Full moon energy lasts for about 2 weeks, so let's move the wheel ahead to February 24th. This is when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since early December, Mars, the planet of action and desire, has been depleting everyone's energy. For you, the restlessness started in your home life. You could have been extra nostalgic about your childhood or the past over the holidays. Then Mars backtracked into Cancer, delaying travel plans or throwing a wrench at vehicles, devices, media projects, which likely caused tension with your relatives or neighbors. But on February 24th, the glitches will slowly start to end, and you can now move forward with your plans. Maybe the upsets taught you not to bypass travel insurance or check references before hiring a developer. By the third week of April, you'll have upgraded your software and soft skills. Now you'll be able to attend to your home life. However, from February 24th to mid-April, Mars is squaring Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. It's tied to your mental health or grief. This is a good time to connect with a therapist, astrologer, or energy healer to avoid isolation, vices, or self-sabotage. With Venus now in Aries, the key will be to grab hold of your faith and to remember the North Node is activating your friendships, so you won't have to go this alone. Now you're ready for a fresh start. The new moon in Pisces happens on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and yours highlights your community and profits. Again, the moon rules over your ideas, so if you haven't already joined a group, start one now. You'll benefit from sharing your ideas and learning from others. The sun is right there to give you courage. There's a square to Jupiter, putting pressure on your finances, so your social life or goals may cost a little money, or you may have to let go of some of your possessions to have a fresh start. But the North Node is shining on your networks and gains for the next 18 months. So whatever is happening, it's part of your destiny. And this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September, buying you time to fulfill a long-term wish. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Gemini, you're ruled by Mercury, the planet of the mind. This makes you insightful, quick-witted, and dynamic. Here's what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus joins Neptune in Pisces. You could conjure up your dream job. Venus is the planet of love and values. She rules over your private life and what brings you joy. Neptune is about your relationships with authority figures. So when Venus and Neptune blend their energy in your 10th house of career and public image, you could blur the lines with a coworker or fantasize about turning a creative project into a career. This area of your chart is also about your social status, so be on the lookout for a title that boosts your reputation, even if it seems too good to be true. Venus will go retrograde on March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries, so whatever visions you're having about your legacy will have to be reworked at that time. You may need more training or have to join a new network. The North Node of Fate is also at play, and I'll share more about that in a minute. Right now, focus on how you want to make your mark on the world. Your challenge is not to overwhelm yourself with the details or options, and make sure your connections are on the up and up to avoid power plays. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. These are two stellar days for you this month. You are Mercury, and this is in your 9th house of purpose, sitting right next to the sun, how we shine. And Aquarius is about other people. You could connect with a teacher or a mentor who gives you insight on your next adventure. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto, the planet of empowerment or power plays. Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, transforming your beliefs. But with Jupiter retrograde since October, you might not have felt so optimistic. Now that the planet of good fortune is moving direct in your sign, you could explore startup life or work towards a degree in philosophy or law. Maybe your dream involves being a world traveler or launching a nonprofit. Mercury also reigns over your home and family, and Jupiter is about your most important relationships and professional aspirations. You could become an international realtor or world-class developer, or use your degree to become a renowned relationship coach. Maybe you write a best-selling do-it-yourself book. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Since this is happening in the part of your chart that involves your home life, there might be a bun or two in the oven by the summer. Now back to your destiny. On February 7th, Neptune conjoins the North Node in Pisces. Keep your eyes open for a fated event. Remember, Neptune represents your visions of the future or how you escape responsibility. When it activates your career zone, you'll be pushed to think about your legacy. The North Node highlights our purpose. It's where we're headed. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be focused on your reputation. The South Node is what we need to move past in order to fulfill our destiny. It's in Virgo, bringing structure to your home life. Since the 10th house also includes your social status, single, married, divorced, parent, grandparent, you may have to rework your home life to make space for the responsibilities that come with these roles. But the South Node is in Virgo, and you'll be extra determined to succeed. You'll receive yet another piece of the puzzle on February 9th during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun joins forces with a planet and magnetizes its energy. Mercury is you and the planet of communications, and the sun is what brings us joy. This activates your 9th house of learning, and Aquarius is independent and at times a bit rebellious. Follow the clues. You could be drawn to foreign travel or learn something that opens your mind to a new perspective. It's also possible that you take an interest in topics involving religion, ethics, or morality. Have the debate, even if it's with yourself. You will benefit from being curious. This leads us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons bring releases, turning points, or endings, and your 3rd house of sharing will be under the radar. You could launch a website or app, return from a mind-blowing trip, or bury the hatchet with a neighbor or relative. Look back at your camera roll to see what was kicking off in August. This is when the energy started to form. The moon also rules your personal finances and self-worth, so a media project, car issue, or TIFF could cost you literally or figuratively, especially with a square to Uranus and Taurus in the most private area of your chart, the unknown. Uranus is the planet of innovation and disruption. A square means tension, and this astrology sparks a sudden change. It will likely involve something you keep hidden, like a vice or romantic entanglement. The full moon could shine a light on a secret or reveal someone who doesn't have the best intentions. Or you could be second-guessing a media project, car purchase, or quarrel, prompting you to make a change. Full moon energy lasts for 2 weeks, so let's move the wheel ahead to February 24th when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of passion and drive, has been turning backwards. First in Leo, causing miscommunications, travel delays, and tech glitches. Then in Cancer, dragging down your finances or self-esteem. You could have felt like others were competing with you, or you might have been passive-aggressive, which created conflicts. Mars is also about heat. My heater broke down on Christmas Eve, and several people I know couldn't start their engines thanks to the freezing temperatures. But on February 24th, Mars will slowly come back online. Maybe the mishaps helped you decide it's time to buy a new car, or you realize that arguing with your sibling isn't worth the stress. By the 3rd week of April, these issues will be in the rear view, and you'll now have the energy to concentrate on your finances or tackle your relationship with money. Just note, from February 24th to mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid that stores deep-rooted trauma. It's time tied to your networks and profits. So your social life or how you make money could be the source of the Mars tension. But now that Mars is direct, you'll be motivated to put an end to the drama. Who you surround yourself with during this time counts. Now you're ready for a fresh start. This happens during the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and it's time to hit the reset button on your career and public image. Again, the moon rules how you communicate. She's sitting right next to the sun, giving you the courage to start something new. There is a square to Jupiter in Gemini, which might cause stress or lack of confidence, but one of my mentors says we can't please 100% of the people all of the time. So if someone doesn't like your wardrobe or your tone of voice, remember that the only opinion that matters is yours. And as long as you're treating others with dignity and respect, you have the right to request the same in return. The North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months. So whatever is happening, it's part of your destiny. And this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. The universe wants you to focus on how you influence others. Personal development will pay off in 6 months. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Cancer, you are ruled by the moon, which makes you sensitive, imaginative, and caring. Let's see what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. You could have a vivid dream about your next adventure. Venus represents what and who we love. Neptune casts spells on wishful thinking. When they pair up, the energy can feel mystical or confusing. It activates your purpose. You might feel a pull towards esoteric topics like astrology or divination, or you could receive a download about an overseas trip that your soul's been longing for. Venus rules your social life and wishes, as well as your home life and the past. So maybe what you're learning involves past life karma, or it's possible you're dreaming of an epic family vacation. Neptune also points towards entrepreneurship, your beliefs, and legal matters. You could fall in love with the idea of starting a home-based business that sells holistic remedies, or sign up for a spiritual retreat with your friends. Should a court case be on the docket, watch for manipulation and deception. When Venus and Neptune blend their energy, your ideas may be unrealistic because your family responsibilities or your friends might not agree with your position. Since Venus will go retrograde on March 1st to mid-April, you'll have time to rework your vision. The North Node of Destiny is also in the mix, and I'll share more about that in a minute. Right now, see where your imagination takes you and explore what you're passionate about. You can worry about the details another day. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. Now you can connect your mind with your emotions. Mercury is the planet of reasoning. It's activating your shared assets and emotional bonds. Aquarius is about what's best for others, so you could come up with a creative solution involving debt, taxes, or alimony. The Sun will give you more courage to discuss these matters. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto, the planet of empowerment or power plays. Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, transforming your joint resources and intimate connections. It's best to allow the mystery to unravel. Neither Pluto nor Aquarius likes to be pushed, regardless of how level-headed Mercury has you on this day. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, has been retrograde since October in the most private area of your chart, the subconscious. You might not have felt so optimistic, or you found it hard to get to the truth of a matter. Now, with Jupiter moving forward, your faith will be restored. Just be careful not to overindulge. Jupiter means more, and the 12th house includes vices and self-sabotage. A coworker or healthcare provider could suggest a creative solution that helps you process an intimate issue. Or maybe you find out you've been overpaying on a student loan and now you get a reimbursement. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. During this time, two heads will be better than one. Should Jupiter uncover a hidden truth about your joint resources, or maybe your partner gets behind the idea of couples therapy and your growth helps deepen your relationship by the summer. Now let's talk about your destiny. On February 7th, Neptune conjoins the North Node in Pisces. This is when a fated event could happen. Remember, Neptune brings confusion to your sense of adventure or belief system. The North Node reflects our life purpose. It's where we need to venture. Over the next 18 months, the North Node is encouraging you to travel, to learn, and explore beyond your comfort zone. The South Node points towards what we need to release to fulfill our purpose. It's in Virgo, bringing order to how you communicate. It's possible that in order to broaden your horizons, you need to let go of how you socialize or alter the way you speak to others. You may have to change your local environment, or you could cut back on social media. Venus is still in the mix, which again connects what you love to your relationships and family, so be on the lookout for a sign. Then on February 9th, there's a Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun joins forces with a planet at the same degree, amplifying its energy. Mercury is the planet of the mind. The sun is how we shine. Aquarius wants independence, and you could have an epiphany about your shared assets or emotional ties. Perhaps you join forces on a business venture, or you have a breakthrough in therapy. While taboo topics like sex, death, and taxes can be uncomfortable, the sun rules over your money and values, giving you the courage to discuss your finances or stand up for your self-worth. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are culminations, turning points, or endings. This lunation shines a light on your finances and relationship with money. If you've been saving over the last 6 months, you could hit your target today, or one of your stocks may take a hit. Look back at your calendar to see what seeds were planted in August. This is when the energy started to take form. With the moon being your ruler, whatever is happening will make you extra sensitive about your identity. This is not a day to make an emotionally charged decision about cosmetic surgery or take part in a risky investment, especially with the square to Uranus and Taurus disrupting your friendships and profits. Uranus is a disruptive planet in general, and it prompts sudden change. Be careful when borrowing or lending money to friends, and avoid get-rich-quick schemes or donating to social causes that seem off. A financial setback could interfere with a long-term goal. Full moon energy carries on for a few weeks, so I'll move the wheel forward to February 24th when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of motivation and passion, has been moving backwards, first in Leo, stirring up financial resentment or making you feel undervalued. Then in Cancer, where it was messing with your self-esteem. This could have caused passive-aggressive behavior, or your temper might have gotten the better of you. Mars is also associated with heat, cuts, and burns. Many people I know had high fevers over the holidays. I was using a wine glass to cut cookie dough, and the glass broke. With Mars in your first house of body, you may also experience something like this that costs you resources, time, money, or energy. But on February 24th, heads will cool and wounds will heal slowly as Mars comes back online. Maybe the arguments or setbacks helped you see what you don't want in life. By the third week of April, you'll have regained your confidence, perhaps by taking action on a money matter. Now you can laser in on self-care. Take it easy, however. From February 24th to mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. This is tied to your career and reputation. It's possible that the pain is a result of being overloaded at work, or an authority figure might be triggering you, but Mars will give you warrior-like courage to defend yourself when needed. Now you're in position for a new moon in Pisces on February 27th, which brings the energy back to your purpose. New moons are new beginnings, and yours involves foreign travel, education, entrepreneurship, or a legal matter. So what were you dreaming about at the beginning of the month? Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, and this new moon will turn into a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces in September. The universe is pushing you towards a new adventure. The work you're doing now is part of your destiny. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Leo, the sun is your ruler. This makes you creative, romantic, and fun. Let's see what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. You could unravel one of life's mysteries. Venus is the planet of what and who we love. She rules over your professional achievements and how you unite with others. Neptune relates to your emotional bonds. When Venus and Neptune blend their energy in your 8th house of transformation, you could manifest a way to merge your resources with someone. The key will be not to idolize the situation or second party. The 8th house includes taxes, loans, and inheritances. Your bedroom activity could also veer into fantasy terrain. Venus will go retrograde on March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. During this time, you'll likely revisit fears around intimacy or death, which may alter your beliefs. The North Node of Fate is also in the mix, and I'll share more about that in a minute. Today, dream about what could be possible if you cast your pride aside to be more vulnerable. A life-changing opportunity could unfold when you learn to trust the process. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. Mercury's purpose is to rethink. When in your 7th house, it's activating self-awareness and committed partnerships, romantic and platonic. And Aquarius is about originality. You could have a cosmic encounter that teaches you how to maintain independence within your close ties, or a social cause could pique your curiosity. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto. The planet of empowerment or power plays is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, transforming your partnerships. Jupiter is the planet of luck. It's been retrograde since October. You might not have felt so optimistic about your friendships or earning potential. Now, when Jupiter moves forward, you could join a group that attracts new ways to make money, or someone from your network might offer you a leadership role at their tech startup. Maybe you take a workshop that helps you fulfill a long-term goal. Mercury also rules your money and values, and Jupiter is about creative projects and the stock market. There are new regulations with cryptocurrency on the horizon that could cause a big ripple in the financial system. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. This could put more money in your pocket if you take your income and multiply it before the institutions get involved. Now let's circle back to your destiny. On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. Keep your ear to the ground. Remember, Neptune represents your dreams. It's activating your shared assets. The North Node spotlights our life purpose. It's what we need to learn to grow. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will guide you to create a legacy plan. The South Node is what we need to release in order to achieve our destiny. It's in Virgo, bringing structure to your finances and possessions. So since the 8th house includes inheritances and trust, you might want to rework your personal budget or spending habits so you can contribute more to joint resources. Then on February 9th, there's a Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when your ruler, the sun, connects with a planet at the same degree and electrifies its energy. Mercury is the planet of the mind. Aquarius is about future thinking. The sun is you, how you express yourself and how others perceive you, and the energy is back on your partnerships. This includes anyone who you have a contractual engagement with, like your spouse, clients, financial advisor, or astrologer. You could share a genius idea with a partner on how to invest your money or gain insight from an advisor on where to invest. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons bring culminations, turning points, or endings to something you've been working towards over the last 6 months. If you've been hitting the gym, you could reach a milestone on this day. Or if you've been working with a financial planner, you could finalize the arrangements of your estate. That said, practice caution. There's a square to Uranus in Taurus disturbing your career and reputation, which could trigger a sudden change. With the moon reigning over what's hidden, be careful of taking advice from shady characters or keeping secrets from your spouse or business partner. The full moon could bring these matters to light and tarnish your public image, specifically impacting your romantic life, creative projects, or children. Full moon energy lasts for 2 weeks, so let's move forward to February 24th when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of motivation and passion, has been moving backwards, first in Leo, draining your physical energy, then in Cancer, causing internal conflict or strife with enemies. You could have been sifting through past karma, or your mind was scattered. This may have caused headaches, or you could have struggled with addiction. But on February 24th, the mental anxiety will slowly start to temper as Mars moves forward. This would be a good time to connect with a therapist, astrologer, or energy healer to relieve some of the pressure you've been bottling. By the 3rd week of April, your body will have regained its strength. Now you can get back to the gym or participate in other activities that will help your mental health. Take note, from February 24th to mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. The source of your pain could be tied to a legal matter or outdated belief system, but Mars will give you warrior-like determination to align your actions with your values. Now you're in position for a fresh start during the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and this energy lights up your joint resources and attachments to others. Again, the moon rules over your private thoughts, and it's right next to the sun, giving you courage to face the unknown. And also, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, so whatever is happening, it's part of your destiny. And this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September, which suggests that a deep fear will be released by the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Virgo, you're ruled by Mercury, the planet of intellect, which makes you smart, helpful, and modest. Let's see what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. You can manifest your dream partner. Venus represents what and who we love. She rules over your money and values and your purpose. Neptune fogs our perception or completely warps our reality. She rules over your partnerships, romantic and platonic. So when this energy blends in your 7th house of self-awareness and contractual ties, you could have a false sense of security in love, business, or friendships, or you could fixate on attracting a partner. The challenge with Neptune and Venus together is not to overlook someone's red flags or deceive someone to get what you want. Venus will go retrograde from March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. So what you love or value in a partner now could turn out to be a pipe dream, Pisces, which leads to reassessing shared assets, Aries. The North Node of Fate is also involved. Is this a soulmate or a karmic connection? The energy is too confusing to know. So as February opens, focus your thoughts on the perfect partner for you and let the rest of the month play out. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. These are two of the best days this month for you. Mercury is your idea. It's in your 6th house of work and health, sitting right next to the sun, how we shine. In Aquarius, which is very innovative and rebellious, it wants to be free. You could hatch a plan that reinvents your lifestyle, like getting a wearable to monitor your health. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto. That's the planet of empowerment or power plays. Over the next 20 years, he will push and pull you to take better care of yourself. Jupiter is the planet of luck. It's been retrograde since October, causing slowdowns in your career or making you feel less optimistic about your public image. Now that Jupiter is moving forward, you could get married and this alters your lifestyle. You could receive a promotion and this changes your job title, or you could cut ties with someone to gain more freedom. Jupiter controls your home life and important life relationships, so you might make plans to move in with your partner or move back to your hometown to be closer to your parents. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, you could renovate your home to make room for an addition to the family or hire more employees to accommodate growth in your company. Now let's circle back to whether this is a soulmate or a karmic connection. On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. This pulls the energy back to your committed partnerships and self-awareness. Remember, Neptune is confusing. Your partnerships could feel like fairy tales, but your expectations in relationships might be unrealistic. You should also be mindful of smooth talkers on this date. The North Node represents our purpose. It's what we need to learn. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, making you more aware of your partners. The South Node is what we need to let go of in order to fulfill our destiny. It's in Virgo. This is how you express yourself and how others perceive you. So you may have to shed an old identity to embrace a partnership or stop caring about what other people think by learning to value yourself. As a Virgo, you will be able to judge for yourself who is best for you. The devil is in the details. Actions must match words and be consistent for you to commit to a spouse, business partner, best friend, client, or even a healthcare provider. Remember, Pluto needs you to take care of yourself. A light bulb will turn on during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius on February 9th. A cazimi is when the sun connects with a planet at the same degree, electrifying its energy. Mercury is you. The sun is how we shine. Aquarius is about others, technology, and freedom. And this energy activates your work, wellness, and daily routines. So connect the dots. You could set up a new project management system to delegate responsibilities at the office, or use TaskRabbit to hire someone to help with your busy work. Whatever you need to do to maintain structure and navigate your daily life, do it. Some things are worth paying for. This leads us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons bring turning points, completions, or endings. This is happening in the most private area of your chart, the subconscious, where all the skeletons are buried. This includes vices from drinking to perfectionism, anything you do that secretly sabotages your life. Look back at your calendar or photo library to see what was taking shape in August. That's when this energy started. Maybe at that time you started working with a therapist or astrologer, and the full moon surfaces a breakthrough or awakening. This is a very spiritual house. The moon also connects to your networks and gains. So it's possible you cancel a membership because it's not bringing in leads, or you stop associating with a group because their priorities don't align with your goals. Maybe you're the one always throwing down your card for dinner and you feel unappreciated. This change could be disruptive and sudden given the square to Uranus. Like you stop a payment on a trip because the politics are just causing too much drama, or you uncover unlawful behavior and now you have to take action to put an end to it. Full moon energy lasts for about 2 weeks, so I'll move the wheel forward to February 24th when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of motivation and passion, has been spinning backwards. First in Leo, causing anxiety in your personal life or rearing up past karma. Then in Cancer, disrupting your friendships or cutting into your profits. Now on February 24th, the stress will slowly start to melt away as Mars comes back online. It's possible the reflection revealed who your true friends are, or that certain people are causing you stress. As you continue to work on yourself, by the 3rd week of April, you will have the energy to revive your social life or professional networks. From now until mid-April, however, there is a square to Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. It's tied to your shared resources and emotional bonds, but Mars will give you the strength to heal from these issues. Brené Brown said, "Vulnerability is not weakness, it's our greatest measure of strength." This line of thinking sets you up for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are fresh starts, and yours takes place in your 7th house of partnerships and self-awareness. Again, the moon rules over your friendships and earnings, which is sitting right next to the sun, giving you the courage to begin again. Maybe you're introducing someone special to your friends, or you meet someone at a networking event, or you realize that a business partnership has long-term potential. If you are recovering from a loss, a therapist, astrologer, or best friend will be there to support you. This marks the beginning of your acceptance. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, so whatever is happening in your partnerships, it's part of your destiny, and this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces in September. The universe wants you to focus on your close ties. The work you do now will lead to a major release in the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Libra, you're ruled by Venus, the goddess of love and values. This makes you sociable, charming, and artistic. Let's see what's in store for you this month. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. You could have a fantasies about your coworker. Venus represents what and who we love. She rules over your style and intimate connections. Neptune clouds our thoughts. She reigns over your lifestyle. So when Venus and Neptune blend their energy in your 6th house of work, health, and routines, the line between what's appropriate may blur. You'll be extra seductive. You could attract the wrong kind of attention, or your intentions may confuse someone. Maybe you have a secret admirer at the office or lock eyes with someone at the gym who's unavailable. Maybe you overwork yourself to please someone, or with this energy, you explore the art of Tantra. The North Node of Fate is also at play. More on that in a minute. For now, be mindful that any fat elixirs could come with some hazy after effects. Take it easy with yourself and others. Your power to persuade will be on tilt. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. This comes with a spark. Mercury is the planet of ideas. It's in your 5th house of pleasure, sitting right next to the sun, how we express ourselves. Aquarius is inventive and rebellious. It doesn't like to be controlled. Maybe you throw caution to the wind and hit the dating scene. All this drone talk could have you wanting to get certified, or you might explore in vitro or freezing your eggs. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto. The planet of empowerment and power plays is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, transforming the way you seek pleasure. Meanwhile, Jupiter is the planet of good fortune. It's been retrograde since October. You may have been dealing with a legal matter or felt like the universe was pushing against you. Now that Jupiter is moving forward, you could settle the case, plan a trip abroad, or get started on a PhD. If you've been wanting to start a business, Jupiter will bless your ideas. Jupiter controls your ideas and your routines. So maybe your venture involves a fitness app, drop shipping natural remedies, or creating time management software. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, you could travel more for work or teach others about the ways of the world. Now back to your destiny. On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. This circles the energy back to your work, health, and routines. Remember, Neptune plays with our imaginations. The lifestyle you want to create may not be realistic given your day-to-day responsibilities. The North Node is our purpose. It's how we need to grow. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, calling your attention to service and healing. The South Node is what we need to release to reach our destiny. It's in Virgo. This is a very private area of your chart. It activates your subconscious. You may need to let go of a vice or make peace with past karma to help others or heal yourself. Or this could be about letting go of control to embrace the flow of life. What you learn over the next 18 months could also turn into a new career. Your intuition will be dialed up on February 9th during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun connects with a planet at the same degree, amplifying its energy. Mercury is about communications. The sun brings us joy. Aquarius is inventive, and this energy charges up your romantic life, creative projects, or connections with kids, so tie it all together. If you've been writing something, a song, a book, a play, or just in your journal, you'll be super prolific. You could bring your date to trivia, or you may find yourself engulfed in a puzzle with your kids. This leads us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are releases, culminations, or endings, and this will highlight your friendships or how you make money. Maybe you take the stage and share your writing with an audience. Maybe you let go of a social circle because you've been shrinking to belong. The moon is connected to your career and public image, so it's possible you get a promotion, or you could quit your job because you're being underpaid. Maybe you get engaged and celebrate with your friends, or you're parting ways with someone and your friends are rallying to console you. This could be disruptive and sudden given the square to Uranus, which targets your shared assets and emotional bonds. It's possible a loan doesn't come through, or you could run into an issue with your taxes. It's best not to lend or borrow money from friends at this time. Any interest rate or inflation could hit you hard. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so let's move the wheel to February 24th when Mars goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of motivation, has been flipping backwards. First in Leo, creating tension in your social life or depleting your earnings. Then in Cancer, wreaking havoc on your career or reputation. Coworkers, clients, paperwork, and Zoom calls were either draining or had your blood boiling. Now on February 24th, you'll slowly start to feel less anxious as Mars moves forward. Perhaps the backflips helped you discover who's in your corner, or that professional aspirations aren't worth the stress. As you start to pad back your bank account or seek new alliances by the 3rd week of April, you'll have the energy to dive back into your career, restore your image. From now until mid-April, however, there is a square to Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. This is connected to your committed partnerships, romantic and platonic, but Mars will give you the strength to heal from a loss or upset. Just watch for competitiveness, especially if you're in a leadership role. There is strength and sensitivity. Now you're in position for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and your fresh start lands in your 6th house of work, health, and habits. Again, the moon rules over your career and parenting. It's sitting next to the sun, giving you the courage to put one foot in front of the other. Focus on how you can integrate creativity into your everyday life to benefit your health. Perfectionism is a lost battle, and it's no fun trying. If you feel burnt out, think about what you can remove from your task list. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, and this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. Whatever you start now is part of your destiny. Think work-life balance, holistic health, and acts of service. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Scorpio, you're ruled by both Mars and Pluto. This makes you independent, intuitive, and mysterious. Let's see what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. Your fantasies could be out of this world. Venus is what we're passionate about. She rules over your deep emotional bonds and your secrets. Neptune's purpose is inner confusion. She rules over what brings you pleasure. When Venus and Neptune blend their energy in your 5th house of pleasure, be prepared for a mystical romance, profound creativity, or idolizing your kids, or the thought of having children. It will feel good at the time, but whatever you're dreaming may not be realistic. Venus will go retrograde from March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. So what you're passionate about now could evaporate Pisces, which may implode your daily life, Aries. The North Node of Fate is also involved. Is this a higher love? The energy is too enchanting to know. There could be a mountain of debt behind the veil. So as you begin the month, get lost in the fantasy all you want, but hold off on quitting your day job or signing your rights away. You could be absorbing other people's emotions, or pillow talk may plant seeds in someone's head that you're not prepared to water. Plus, heartbreak for you is complex. It lingers. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. Now you can start asking questions that help discern fact from fiction. Mercury is the planet of reason. It's bringing a logical approach to your home life, and sitting right next to the sun, our personality. In Aquarius, which can spark rebellion, your mind will be on fire. You could create an innovative strategy that changes where you're living or who you're living with. This is important for you because of Pluto, the planet of empowerment, or power plays, is in Aquarius for the next 20 years, transforming your family. property, relationships with parents, or beliefs about your past. In the meantime, Jupiter, the planet of big picture thinking, has been retrograde since October. You may have lost hope in an intimate relationship, or luck may have run out on a shared asset. Now that Jupiter is moving forward, you'll regain positivity in these areas. Jupiter controls your finances and self-esteem, as well as what brings you joy. You could open a joint bank account that earns compound interest, or uncover a piece of family history that connects you with relatives you didn't know existed. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, you might receive an inheritance and use it to open a trust for your kids, which brings financial and emotional security. Now let's talk about your fate. Is this a higher love? On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. This circles the energy back to your pleasure zone. Remember, Neptune is mystical but can be delusional. Romantic encounters can be fun as long as neither party has long-term expectations. Creative projects are a blast when they don't bleed your bank account. All babies are a blessing, but the responsibility cannot be ignored. The North Node represents our purpose. It's where we're headed. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, calling your attention to your personal life. The South Node is what feels familiar, but ultimately keeps us stuck if we're not growing and evolving. It's in Virgo, bringing order to your social life, how you make your mark on the world, or your personal development. So you may have to let go of a friend group or outdated dream that is holding you back from your true love, or blocking you from selling your art, or jeopardizing the connection you have with your kids. A burst of energy will come on February 9th during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun connects with another planet, magnifying its energy. Mercury is the mind, the sun is creative expression. Aquarius is unconventional, and the energy activates your home life and your public image, so follow the clues. You could add a security system to your home to better protect your family. You might decide that you really love someone, but traditional marriage doesn't work for you. If you've been trying to have kids, you could explore ART. Or if your parents are older, this could be about finding them a safe place to live. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons bring releases, turning points are endings. This is happening in a very public part of your chart, your career and parenting. This includes your reputation, job, or marital title, and your legacy. With the moon connected to your beliefs, it's possible that you turn down a job because you want to start your own company. Maybe you settle a legal matter that finalizes your status, or you complete your studies and you're now in search of a job. This change could be disruptive and sudden given the square to Uranus in Taurus. This ties to your most important life relationships. So maybe your partner doesn't agree with startup life, or you break off an engagement because your partner doesn't see the world as you see it. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so let's move the wheel forward to February 24th when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Mars is one of your rulers. Wherever he goes is where you are. He is passionate and competitive. He started moving backwards, first through Leo. This created conflict in your career or mucked with your reputation. Putting on social graces was likely exhausting. Then in Cancer, disturbing your business, a legal matter, travel plans, or education. Maybe you felt like it just wasn't worth it. Now on February 24th, tension will slowly start to cease as Mars moves forward. It's possible the backtrack helped you find your role in an organization or prevented you from making an emotionally charged decision to pack up and ship out. As you start to rise through the ranks again, by the third week of April, you'll have the strength to make headway in your business, resume your studies, or plan a getaway. Just note, from now until mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. This is tied to your work and health, but Mars will give you the energy to heal from an injury or restructure your lifestyle. Chiron is sitting right next to the sun, so hot showers, hot yoga, steam baths should be routine. Any heat-related remedies will help. This positions you for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and your fresh start happens in your fifth house of romance, creative projects, and children. Again, the moon reigns over how you explore the world. It's sitting right next to the sun, giving you the courage to start again. This is a great time to start a new hobby, create for art's sake, or embrace a more spiritual approach to life. It doesn't have to be crunchy. There is a lot of philosophy and science involved in esoteric topics. This is also a very compassionate and fertile new moon. It could mark a new phase in your parenthood. If not a baby, your child might say their first word, or you could send your kid to study abroad. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, and this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. The universe wants you to create deep connections in your love life through your art or with your children. Just try and see what happens by the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Sagittarius, you're ruled by Jupiter. This makes you optimistic, adventurous, and wise. Let's see what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. Your ancestors could come to you in your dreams. Venus represents love and values. She rules over your health as well as your friendships and the money you earn. Neptune clouds our judgment. She reigns over your home life. When Venus and Neptune blend in your fourth house of home and family, you could get very nostalgic about your childhood, feel confused about a living situation, or become overly compassionate towards your family members. Be careful not to let your dreams of the past or the quality of life that you want take you from the moment. As they say, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. Venus will retrograde from March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. This is when you'll view your home and family with a different lens, Pisces, leading to a reevaluation of your romantic life, creative projects, or the dreams you have for your children, Aries. And because Venus is a money sign, there could be deceptions or misunderstandings about home expenses. Maybe the actual cost of a renovation turns out to be much more than the quote, or you're at odds with your partner about planning a family vacation when the roof is leaking. The North Node of Fate is also in the mix. Is this what you want, or are your parents in your head? The energy is too foggy to know. As the month opens, focus your thoughts on your emotional security and let the rest unfold. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter finally goes direct in Gemini. Your wheels will be turning. Mercury is the planet of the mind. It's in your third house of communication, sitting right next to the sun. How we express ourselves in Aquarius, which is very innovative. You could have a conversation with a neighbor or sibling that turns into a creative idea for a website or app, or they may know a contractor who can handle the home repair for less. This is important for you because of Pluto, the planet of empowerment or power plays, is in Aquarius for the next 20 years to transform how you share your ideas with others. Meanwhile, Jupiter is the planet of good fortune. It's been retrograde since October, making you feel unlucky in love or less optimistic about a business partner. Now that Jupiter is moving forward, you'll gain more self-awareness about your contractual ties, romantic and platonic. And since Jupiter is your identity and connected to your home life, the insight you receive on these days could involve a home security system or software that syncs everyone's schedules. This will help you communicate better with your family. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, think about innovative ways to take care of your parents or talk to your partner about your needs. This is also a great time to use your communication skills to make more money. Negotiating with a contractor could allow you to fix the roof and still have funds for a family trip. Or you could pick up freelance work as a writer, teacher, or digital marketer. This brings us back to your fate. Is this what you want? On February 7th, Neptune conjoins the North Node in Pisces, pulling the energy back to your home and family. You need to break a karmic cycle or generational pattern. Remember, Neptune makes things hazy. You could be dreaming about the perfect home, but maybe avoiding issues. You could also absorb the emotions of your family members. You want to nurture them, but at what cost to you? Or you'll want to escape home responsibilities or take on too much responsibility because that's how you were raised. The North Node represents our purpose. It's where we're headed. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, pushing you to focus on your home life. The South Node is what we need to release in order to reach our destiny. It's in Virgo, helping you restructure your career or social status. You may have to let go of a professional goal or title to make more time for your family or to have a family. So if one of your crafty ideas is to repair the roof yourself, maybe it's because that's what your parents would have done. You'll have an aha moment on February 9th during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun connects with a planet at the same degree, supercharging its energy. Mercury is the planet of logic. The sun is how we shine. Aquarius wants independence, and the energy lands back in your third house of communications. Today is the better day to use what you've learned from others and create a plan that works for you. Maybe you set up a home office or writer's nook to help you take care of business and retreat when you need to. This leads us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are endings, turning points, or completions. This is happening in your ninth house of purpose, which puts the focus on how you see the world. This includes entrepreneurship, traveling abroad to immerse yourself in different cultures, legal matters, and education that expands what you believe in. Look back at your calendar to see what was happening in August. That's when this energy started to form. The moon is also tied to your shared resources, time, money, and energy. Maybe you don't go on a family trip because you don't want the debt. Maybe you complete your studies and start paying down your student loans, or you could finish your taxes and decide being your own boss isn't all it's cracked up to be. Your spouse could also get a raise, giving you the breathing room to return to school. This could disrupt your work environment, health, or daily routines, given the square to Uranus and Taurus. Should something suddenly change, your home office or shared calendar may come in handy at this time. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so I'll move the wheel ahead to February 24th, when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of motivation, has been moving backwards, first in Leo, stalling travel, education, business, or legal matters, then in Cancer, burning up your joint resources or taking the passion out of life. Now on February 24th, the tension will slowly start to lift as Mars comes back online. It's possible the backtrack helped you plan your next big adventure or find creative ways to fund projects without using other people's money. As you continue to perform R&D, by the third week of April, you'll have the strength to tackle debt or revive your intimate life. Just know that from now until mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted pain. This is tied to romance, creative projects, and kids, but Mars will give you the courage to heal through the adventures you're having at this time. Now you're in position for a fresh start during the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and this suggests a reset to your home life. You could start that renovation or move past a childhood trauma. Again, the moon is connected to your shared assets and emotional bonds. Maybe you clear family items from the basement to make a little space for yourself at home. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, and this new moon will turn into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. So whatever is happening now, it's part of your destiny. Maybe you move someplace that makes you feel more at home by the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Capricorn, you're ruled by Saturn, making you responsible, practical, and persistent. Here's what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. You could pack up the car with your favorite things and drive into the unknown. Venus represents what and who we love. She rules over your passions and your legacy. Neptune has us chasing rainbows. She reigns over your ideas. When the energy blends together in your third house of communications, you can envision yourself writing a best-selling romance novel or fall in love with the idea of walking down the aisle with the main character. Maybe you brainstorm a business that will set your kids up for life. The potential challenge is blurred boundaries. Be mindful of your social charm. You could send the wrong signals or tell others what they want to hear. Venus will go retrograde from March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. What you romanticize now could be a figment of your imagination, Pisces, which could turn your home life into a battleground. Aries, the North Node of fate is also involved. Is this idea realistic? The energy is too dreamy to know. So as February opens, tune into your local surroundings and let the month unfold. If you get an instinctual ick, say less, listen more, react later. You may be escaping into the fantasy to avoid a harsh truth. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on the 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. Mercury is the planet of reason. It's in your second house of money and self-esteem, sitting right next to the sun, how we express ourselves. In Aquarius, which is inventive and independent, you could come up with a master plan that results in financial freedom. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto, the planet of empowerment or power plays, is in Aquarius for the next 20 years to transform your relationship with money. Meanwhile, Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, has been retrograde since October, making you feel less optimistic about your work, health, or routines. Now that Jupiter is moving forward, luck will return to these areas. You could accept a high-paying job or hit the gym to boost your self-esteem. Maybe a smart investment changes your lifestyle. Think outside of the box. Jupiter is connected to your spirituality and media. You might create a holistic health course or publish a paper on metaphysics. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, put your thoughts on paper and get feedback from your relatives. With Mercury ruling entrepreneurship and education, the money-making idea you have today could take flight by the summer if you put your mind to it. Now let's talk about your fate. Is this idea realistic? On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. This pulls the energy back to your intuitive preferences. Remember, Neptune can present as the dreamer's disease. Your idea may be out of this world, but how will you execute it? This is when having a second opinion will come in handy. The North Node represents our path in life. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, asking you to focus on how you share your ideas and socialize. The South Node is what we need to let go of in order to reach our destiny. It's in Virgo. This points towards how you see the world. So you may have to release an outdated belief system to learn a new perspective, which can then be taught to others and become part of your legacy. This could happen by connecting with people at parties, or you may gain inspiration from social media. Just be careful not to absorb too much of what others are thinking. For this to work, you'll need to stay true to yourself. The dots will connect during the Mercury cazimi on February 9th. A cazimi is when the sun lines up with a planet at the same degree, magnetizing its energy. Mercury is the mind. The sun is how we make our mark on the world. Aquarius likes to collaborate with others, and this energy activates your personal finances. Today, you'll have a gift for words. Your mind will be extra sharp. You could get curious about how to use AI to create social impact and line your pockets. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are releases, turning points, or endings. This happens in your 8th house of shared assets and emotional bonds. This includes anything involving other people's money, like insurance or inheritances. Look back at your feed to see what was happening in August. This is when the energy started to take form. Maybe you pay off your mortgage or close a joint bank account. You could finalize alimony or child support, or wrap up your taxes early. The moon connects to your contractual ties and self-awareness. So it's important to note how you feel about sharing your resources with a partner or receive support from people close to you. Whether your spouse, therapist, or a business partner, feelings may not be facts, but they do matter. So maybe the idea you came up with on the 3rd and shared with others on the 9th involves a joint venture. Now, under the full moon, you have to part ways with some of your personal finances to invest money together. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so let's move the wheel forward to February 24th. This is when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of action, has been backflipping, first in Leo, messing with your shared assets, then in Cancer, disturbing the peace in your most important relationships, romantic, business, or friendships. Now on February 24th, the pressure will slowly start to release as Mars moves forward. It's possible that the slowdowns helped you read through the fine print or set boundaries with partners. As you continue to work through the arrangements, by the 3rd week of April, you'll have more energy to tackle debt or taxes again. Just know from February 24th to mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted pain. This is tied to your romantic life, creative projects, or kids. Maybe a student or business loan that's been draining your funds is the source of the pain, or interest is piling up on a romantic getaway you took over the holidays and the relationship didn't even work out. With Mars moving forward, you'll have the strength to heal from the upset. This positions you for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and your fresh start happens in your 3rd house of communications. Again, the moon rules your most important relationships. It's sitting right next to the sun, which will give you the courage to begin again. So what were you dreaming about at the beginning of the month? Were you wishing to be heard by your partner or respected for your ideas? Do you want to spend more time with your relatives or launch a marketplace to sell your courses? Maybe this is the day you drive off into the sunset, if that's still where your head's at. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, so whatever is happening, it's part of your destiny, and this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. The work you do now will result in a major breakthrough by the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Aquarius, you're ruled by Saturn and Uranus, making you a rebel with a cause. Here's what February has in store for you. On February 1st, Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces. You could fantasize about striking gold. Venus represents what and who we love. She rules over your quality of life and your sense of adventure. Neptune toys with our reality. She reigns over your concept of value. When the energy blends in your 2nd house of money and values, you could dream about having emotional security through the material world or lose sight of what really matters in life. Money does not buy true love. Venus will go retrograde from March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. Your challenge will be to take a money-making vision and decipher if it has wings, Pisces, which may require you to dig deep and gain more skills, Aries. The North Node of Fate is also involved. Is this a get-rich-quick scheme or $1 million idea? The energy is too magnetic to know. The key is to think long-term about what will build your net worth and self-worth. You'll need to avoid risky investments that end up costing you more. For now, think about how you can turn your artistic talents into a business or how you can restructure your budget in a creative way. Maybe a knowledgeable family member or financial advisor will help. Because on February 3rd, Mercury in Aquarius trines Jupiter retrograde, and on February 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. Mercury is the planet of knowledge. It's in your first house of identity, sitting right next to the sun, how we shine, in Aquarius, which, as you know, is trailblazing and freedom-seeking. You could use your personal platform to share your life lessons. This is extra important for you because Pluto, the planet of empowerment, or power plays, is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. It will push and pull you to help others by being authentic. Meanwhile, Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, has been retrograde since October. You might not have felt so lucky in love. You may have lost hope in a creative project, or you could have felt disrespected by your kids. Now, as Jupiter moves forward, you'll feel more optimistic. You could start dating again, or your art may finally catch wind. Maybe after months of trying, you get pregnant. Jupiter also extends to your personal finances and groups. A friend could introduce you to someone, or you might meet a publisher at a networking event. Maybe you join a club for single parents that helps you feel like you're not alone. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, brainstorm ways to revive your personal life. With Mercury tied to your shared assets and emotional bonds, joining forces will bring you luck. Now let's try to figure out if this is $1 million idea. On February 7th, Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. This circles the energy back to your money and values. Remember, Neptune is the illusionist. Its purpose is to confuse you. You'll need to be careful not to overspend. This astrology can make you extra generous. You should also be on the lookout for scams and manipulation. The North Node represents our purpose. It's what we need to learn. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, helping you prioritize your resources, time, money, and energy. The South Node is what we need to let go of in order to fulfill our destiny. It's in Virgo, helping you manage your shared assets and strengthen your emotional wealth. So you may need to raise your rates to align with the value of your services, or you might have to liquidate some stocks to cover your expenses. Having a scarcity mindset will not serve you well. Sometimes we have to spend money to make it. The creative solution you've been racking your brain for could arrive on February 9th during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun supercharges the energy of a planet. Mercury is logical. The sun is how we make our mark on the world. Aquarius is inventive, and this energy activates you, your ideas, your talents, your goals. You could hire a stylist or PR pro to get your name out there. Maybe it's time to update your resume or headshot. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are releases, completions, or endings. This energy lands in your 7th house of self-awareness and committed partnerships, romantic, business, or friendships. So maybe the way forward is to connect with people who respect you and let go of inconsistent characters. Does your spouse believe in you? Does your business coach see your vision? Is your accountant helping you make sense of the numbers? Do your friends support you? Assess who's in your camp and pay no mind to those who don't see your worth. The moon also connects to your coworkers, health, and service to others. So if your work environment is toxic, look for another job. If you're feeling anxious, remove items from your task list. If you continue to do for others who don't appreciate your efforts, cut them loose. There is a square to your Uranus, so whatever is happening could be disruptive and cause a sudden change to your home life. Maybe your job hunt involves a relocation, or you decide to separate from your spouse. You could find out that you're not sick, you're pregnant. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so let's move the wheel forward to February 24th when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Since December, Mars, the planet of action, has been backflipping. First in Leo, drawing a line between your contractual ties, then in Cancer, causing chaos with your colleagues or messing with your health and daily routines. Now on February 24th, the tension will slowly start to dissolve as Mars comes back online. It's possible the confrontations made you realize who you can depend on or helped you rework your schedule to put your health first. As As you continue to take better care of yourself, by the third week of April, you'll have the energy to reconnect with your partners or get new partners. Just note, from now until mid-April, Mars squares Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted trauma. It's tied to your relatives, neighbors, and technology. If you're at odds with a family member, or you don't feel safe in your community, or you experienced a cyber attack, Mars will give you the strength to heal. Now you're in position for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and your fresh start happens in your second house of personal finances and self-worth. Now you'll find where the gold is buried. So what were you dreaming about at the beginning of the month? More money, more security, to feel more valued? Again, the moon is connected to your work, wellness, and day-to-day life. There are some things worth spending extra on. Hire a virtual assistant or dog walker. Sign up for a healthy meal subscription. Many maids can clean your house for $100. When you buy back time, think about how you can make more money doing what you do best. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months, so whatever is happening, it's part of your destiny. And this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. The universe wants your mind on your money, so put your head down and see what you can accomplish by the fall. If you found value in your February forecast, please pay it forward with a like, comment, share, and by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to train with me, go to astrocoachkate.com for game plan options. Pisces, you're ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, making you intuitive, compassionate, and hopeful. Here's what February has in store for you. On February 1st, when Venus conjoins Neptune in Pisces, you could dream of being a social media sensation. Venus is the planet of love and value. She rules over your communications and your joint resources. Neptune blurs the line between fact and fiction. She rules your identity and your professional aspirations. When the energy blends in your first house of self, you could fixate on your public image or fantasize about how to make money through self-expression. Maybe you start a vlog, or if you have a passion for numbers, you could create a template to help people manage shared expenses. You could also build a vision board for your personal style, or consider hiring a stylist, PR pro, or leadership coach. Venus will go retrograde from March 1st to mid-April in Pisces and Aries. You'll likely reconsider how you want to share your knowledge, Pisces, which may cause you to rework your budget, Aries. The North Node of Fate is also in the mix. Do you really want to exchange your privacy for notoriety? The energy is too intoxicating to know. So as February opens, focus on your creativity without getting caught up in someone else's idea. You could attract unavailable partners. Only invest as much time, energy, and money as others invest in you. Because on February 3rd, Mercury trines Jupiter retrograde, and on February 4th, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini. Mercury is the mind. It's in your 12th house of hidden talents, sitting right next to the sun, how we shine, in Aquarius, which is a very liberating sign. It wants you to challenge the status quo. You could get a download on how to bring your thoughts online. The reason why this is so important for you is Pluto. The planet of empowerment or power plays is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. It will push and pull you to tap into your intuition. Maybe you discover psychic abilities, or you learn that you're an empath. This would be a great time to work with a therapist, astrologer, or energy healer to knock down mental blocks. You'll benefit from meaningful conversations over small talk with your bestie. Since Mercury is also tied to your home life and emotional bonds, you could decide to put your childhood home on the market or move out of your parents' basement. Meanwhile, Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, has been retrograde since October. You may not have felt optimistic about a home or family matter, or you could have been working through a childhood trauma. This likely left you mentally exhausted. Now that Jupiter is moving forward, you'll feel more hopeful. You could create new family traditions or visit relatives to learn more about your heritage. Jupiter connects to your career and public image and your most important relationships. You may have uncovered a secret about your past or someone close to you that you wish to keep private. Jupiter will remain in Gemini until June. Over the next few months, flip through family albums and think fondly of your past. Now back to the North Node. Are you ready to exchange your privacy for notoriety? A fated event could happen on February 7th when Neptune conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. The North Node represents our purpose. It's what we need to learn. Over the next 18 months, the North Node will be in Pisces, encouraging you to be more authentic. The South Node is what feels comfortable, but also what we need to move past to reach our destiny. It's in Virgo, adding structure to your contractual ties. You may need to let go of an unhealthy attachment to become more independent or release resentment. You might have to stop people-pleasing in order to put yourself first. On this day, be on the lookout for a sign, even if it means closing the door on negative self-talk. You could have an epiphany or breakthrough on February 9th during the Mercury cazimi in Aquarius. A cazimi is when the sun connects with a planet at the same degree, electrifying its energy. Mercury is about communications. The sun is how we make our mark on the world. Aquarius is eccentric, and all this energy activates your subconscious. Maybe you break your silence and speak your mind today. Maybe you have a debate with a relative over a different political point of view, or you could send a fiery text to your neighbor who keeps treading up your lawn. Whatever you've been holding inside might shine through. This brings us to the full moon in Leo on February 12th. Full moons are releases, completions, or endings. This is happening in your 6th house of work, health, and routines. Scroll through your social to see what was happening at the beginning of August. That's when this started. Maybe you quit smoking or clear your calendar of Monday tasks. If a coworker has been ruffling your feathers, you could put up a professional boundary. The moon is connected to your romantic life, creative projects, and children, so it's possible you delete your dating app or lose interest in a hobby. Maybe your kid moves out and now you don't have to clean up after them. There is a square to Uranus and Taurus. This can be disruptive and bring sudden change. Maybe you cancel someone on social media, or you stop building a website even though you've been working on it for the last 6 months. This could also have to do with socializing. If that coworker is really getting under your skin, you might put an end to happy hour. Full moon energy carries for 2 weeks, so I'll move the wheel ahead to February 24th. This is when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer. Mars is the planet of action. It's been retrograde since December, first in Leo, creating tension at work or disrupting your health routines and daily responsibilities. Then in Cancer, stirring up conflict in your personal life. But on February 24th, Mars will slowly start to pick up speed again. So maybe don't delete anything or cancel anyone just yet. Boundaries and blocks will do just fine until you regain your footing. If this does involve children, you may learn to let go with love. By the 3rd week of April, you'll be able to focus on work assignments and exercise, or your daily tasks won't feel so draining. Just note, from now until mid-April, Mars will square Chiron, the asteroid of deep-rooted pain. This is tied to your finances and self-worth. The crux of your frustration could be money-related or feeling disrespected. With Mars giving you the strength to work through it, you'll be able to step into your power. Now you're in position for the new moon in Pisces on February 27th. New moons are new beginnings, and this fresh start is all about you, your identity, your style, how others perceive you. Maybe you treat yourself to a new wardrobe or haircut. Maybe you sign up for a spin class. Again, the moon connects to your personal life. Love could get sentimental. You could pour yourself back into a creative project, or your kids could make you extra emotional. But remember, the North Node is in Pisces for the next 18 months. Whatever is happening is part of your destiny, and this new moon turns into a full moon lunar eclipse in September. So how did you want to express yourself at the beginning of the month? Were you looking for more appreciation? The fog will now lift so you can believe in yourself and look forward to how sensational you'll feel by the fall. So there you have it. If anyone made it to the end of this video, you're either a Pisces or I did something right. Thank you again for your support and feedback. If bite-sized content is more your style, check out my shorts here or Instagram reels at Astro Coach Kate. And if you would like to train with me, I have single sessions and coaching packages available on my website at astrocoachkate.com, where you can book a free discovery call. Have a wonderful February and happy early Valentine's Day. I'll see you back here for more Astro ROI in March.